The hour of 8 o'clock having come, I call the Transportation Committee to order. All members other than Bloomfield are present, so we have a quorum. First up on the agenda is the consent agenda. 2A, approval of minutes from June 13th, 2024 special meeting and the July 2nd, 2024 regular meeting, as well as recommendation and approval of bills and transfers. Do I have a motion? Motion by Member Abel, second by Vice Chair Reeves. Do we have any questions? I have one real quick one for Mr. Stokes. Hold on, I wrote it down somewhere. Maybe I didn't. So one of the awards, maybe I'm looking at the wrong one here. Hold on. Nope, never mind. I'll get to you in a minute. I have a question for you in a minute. Getting ahead of myself. All right. Anybody else have a mistake or a question that isn't ready to be asked yet? Nope. All right. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, and we have approved the minutes and recommendation of bills and transfers. Do we have any members of the public or county employees wanting to speak today?
Chair Rogal, we do not.
All right, we're here if anybody wants to come see us. Number 4, departmental matters. 4A1, request approval of resolution for the July 23rd, 2024 material letting. I have a motion. Motion by Member Abel, second by Member Vice Chair Reeves. Jerry?
So this was part of the Anchor joint culvert petition that we did last month, and so this is we took bids on the material for the aluminum box culvert, and so this is just for the material only, and it'll get delivered in basically pieces, and our maintenance crew will put it together then out at the site then for where the new culvert's going to go. So this is supposed to be coming in like 4 to 6 weeks, and we'll get it hopefully installed this fall.
Does anybody have any questions? Member Reeves?
Jerry, what's the life expectancy of this box culvert?
75 years.
Okay. Excellent.
Anyone else? This is where my question actually comes in. So do we have any, and maybe this is a question for Administrator Taylor, is there anything that gives preference to Illinois companies versus Missouri companies? Because the difference in bids looks to be about $700, and I was just curious. Anybody?
I don't believe we have anything as far as the highway department goes on that. I wouldn't say contacts an Illinois company necessarily. I think these get made in Winchester, Kentucky. So they're kind of a big group. Now, the pipe culverts we get usually get those from Metamora, and then Meta Culverts, I think their main office is Jefferson City, but they also have a place in Havana that does the metal culverts. But I think the aluminum box culverts comes out of Jefferson City. And so that's kind of similar to Contact. They got different plants around the country that make different things.
Okay. Anybody else? Member Reeves?
On these quotes, is that our landed price or is that FOB?
FOB. I'm sorry, it is delivered. Yes.
Anyone else? No? All those in favor, vote aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, and the request approval of the resolution for the July 23rd, 2024 material letting is approved. 4A2, request approval of construction management services agreement with Midwest Construction Professionals. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Abel, second by Member Abraham. Jerry?
So this is a company out of Midwest Construction Professionals out of Morton to kind of just assist us along with kind of getting the bid specifications for the building that we had budgeted. We kind of got hopefully got most of our road work and bridge work out the door, so now we can kind of concentrate on this. And so they're going to kind of help us put the bid documents together and kind of take care of some of the construction management. we're well, not necessarily building experts by any means, so the kind of have just a little assistance there. This company's, they did the Woodford County Highway Department put up a new building, and so they were the construction management for that, and that was like I think a $3 million project, and I think they've done a couple of their township buildings around the area, so thought we'd get these guys on board to help us out.
Does anybody have any questions? Member Reeves?
What type of building are you planning on building?
So this is going to be like a cold storage, wood frame building that's going to go out at our property out at McLean County East.
And they got a 3.75% construction management fee based on a cost of construction?
Yes. So we're thinking like $400,000. So the total for everything was going to be about $30,000 with the construction management fee, and then preparing the other types of fees, or the other pre-construction fees and the construction management fees during construction.
So if you go to a vendor and ask, I want a 200 by 80 at 15 foot tall, what's the concern that their engineering won't handle? Or what are these guys going to do that their engineering won't handle?
Well, I guess I don't understand.
I mean, what value would these guys or anybody else add to if we went to American Buildings and said, or you put it out for a quote in American, I'm just making that up. Huh? Yeah. You say, this is what I want, it's cold storage. And they say it's X, and we rubber stamp it, it's good to go. Why do we have to add an extra 30,000 onto that cost?
I guess I was more thinking it was going to be like, it was almost like a road proposal that we were going to put all these specs together and put it out for bid to where multiple companies could bid on the same thing, and we're specifying the type of material that we want, the size of the boards, everything that needs to be done for that. Because I started looking at that with different, I mean, but every vendor's different, and so then you try to, and trying to come up with something that's going to last and not, you know, because we got quotes from a couple of vendors around, and you know, they were just slightly different, and making sure that everything's done accordingly. But I mean, I guess we could probably do that in-house too if we need to.
And when you say slightly different, like what, the gauge of the steel?
Yeah, I mean, it's all, yeah, some people might use gauge of the steel, the types, you know, whether they're using 2x6, 2x8s, types of trusses they're using. It just got overwhelming, and so that's where I thought we needed the help and to put this, kind of make it an even playing field for each company to bid on it. And I mean, I suppose they can, but and I suppose what we could do is let them just do the pre-construction documents, because that's what I was struggling with, and then we can handle everything else, and we can handle the construction management side of it, if that's would be better. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions? So I guess following up a little bit on what Vice Chair Reeves said, so just so I understand, this group will be the ones that then will put together those documents. They'll figure out who's going to do what, how they're going to do it. So they'll be the ones hiring all the subs to put everything together, right? So they're going to meet with you and your department and say, you're going to say, okay, this is what we want. They'll put together the documents and find the people to do it, so you're not sifting through 10 different
Correct.
bids that all have a little bit different here or there
Correct.
and everything else. And yet, will then those subs still fall under normal state requirements for prevailing wage and those kind of things?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? No? All right, all those in favor, vote aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? One nay. The request approval of the construction management services agreement with Midwest Construction Professionals is approved with 4 voting aye, 1 voting nay. Next, we'll move on to 4A3, request approval of a bridge construction petition for joint culvert replacement number 1 for Cheney's Grove Road District. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Abraham, second by Member Abel. Jerry?
So this is a joint culvert for Cheney's Grove Township where we've got a 8-foot wide by 5-foot tall concrete box that's starting to fall apart. And so in this case, we're actually going to put 2 aluminum box culverts, aluminum arch culverts in. Kind of the reason on the Anchor Township that we just approved was the channels really defined in there, and so we couldn't fit multiple culverts in here. This location, we're able to fit multiple culverts in, and so and it's kind of what the road commissioner preferred. So we're looking at 2 72-inch culverts to put in place of this box culvert.
Does anybody have any questions? Member Reeves?
If you said I don't remember. So the one that was done in Anchor, we just approved the 67. What was the size of that? Arch culvert.
I don't remember for sure.
I mean, is it going to be 2 of those for this project, or are they different sizes?
They're different sizes. I think it was, I want to say it's like 18 foot wide by 7 foot tall was the one in Anchor. And these are 2 72-inch culvert. There'll be twin culverts going across the road.
And the difference between a culvert and an arch?
With the arch culvert, that's just, so we got culverts that are round and other culverts that we call arch that are kind of smashed down. It allows us more cover over the culverts underneath the road.
Okay.
The previous one for Anchor was an aluminum box culvert, which is just fabricated different, basically, when we put it in the hole.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Just to clarify, the one earlier we approved was 15 by 7. So, all right, all those in favor, vote aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. The request approval of bridge construction petition for joint culvert replacement number 1 for Cheney's Grove Road is approved. 4B, items of interest to be presented. Jerry?
So I got some project summaries here. So the Baker Bridge project's the first one on the list. So that project was complete. I showed the completed pictures last month, but this is just the final price that we ended up having. We did go over on this project. We put a bunch. I think we put like 1,000 tons of riprap in there, and then once we got out there at construction, we kind of there were some other places that were eroding, so we added more riprap, and so that's kind of where most of the expense on this project. So we were about 30,000 over on this project. So, but it's all opened up and everything is done. Any questions on that one? So the next one is Seminary Street in Downs. And so that's starting to move forward, making some progress. So they completed all the curb and gutter and the hot mix widening. And they came in, and last week they came in and profiled the road. And so they are planning on putting the first layer of hot mix down on Friday, at least on about 3/4 of the project. So this is a picture here of kind of up on top of the hill looking down towards 150. So you kind of can see here, we did like about 3.5 foot widening on this side and then the curb and gutter. So basically we kind of took the old shoulder and took it out and put hot mix in there and then with the curb and gutter. And so this is looking at 150 looking up the hill. And so then another picture looking down, and kind of the same thing. So so they still got some sidewalk work to do, kind of from Washington Street, from actually, this is this intersection at Garfield. So from here north, I got to put south, put sidewalk in, so last week they just switched traffic over, and we're working right in front of the firehouse there in the village as well. We had to, so they're redoing the drive and the sidewalk into their facility. So once that's done, then they're going to concentrate on the sidewalk and then work on. So they'll have to mill a couple other blocks to come back, and then they'll put the final surface on the whole entire project then after everything's done. Any questions there?
I believe that was a 2-lane road. Is that going to continue to be 2 lanes?
Yes.
From Garfield north, is the sidewalk gonna be on the west side or east side of the road?
There's no sidewalk going from Garfield north.
So it's only from Garfield south?
Yes.
And which, it'll be on both sides of the road then, right?
Yes. Yep. Any other questions?
Anybody else? No? Next?
So next one's the Colfax Road. I showed a picture of this last month as well. So this project's complete. I believe this is pretty close to the final price on this. So with this one, we actually came in about 30,000 under, just the way the quantities and everything came out. So, but that project turned out real good, and so that project's all done. Any questions on Colfax Road?
On those rumble strips, they cut them on the Colfax Road? We're talking Colfax Aerosmith,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So the edge of the pavement rumble strips,
Yeah.
or the rumble strips going up to the stop signs?
The edge of the pavement.
Yes.
I've never seen that before. That doesn't mean anything, but why is that a new technology, or what about water sitting in those and freezing over time?
Yeah, that's so no, we've been doing this quite a while. Last 3 or 4 years, we've been doing. So part of it was they're basically considered safety shoulders, and so a lot of times we'll get HSIP money for that type of stuff. And so yeah, basically to prevent run off the road crashes, and so we don't really water just kind of evaporates out of them, or if traffic beats it out of them. So we kind of asked that question, and nobody's really had an issue with the freezing of the water in those things.
Anyone else? All right, next.
So the next project's the Lexington Leroy Road from Route 9 to 165. And so the majority of the work on this has all been done. I think they got to come back and put center line reflectors in. I believe they're doing some guardrail work today. So this project's almost wrapped up. We got shoulders there. We've painted the yellow stripe. We'll work on getting the white stripe painted. So this is kind of a picture of looking towards Route 9. We did have to go in and there was some curb and gutter all the way along these houses that we had to raise the road up a couple inches because we did a cold in place recycling, and that raises the road up about 1 inch. And so, and then with the additional hot mix that we were adding, I think it was a total of like 2 inches. So there was like 2 spots that we had to redo the curb and gutter, and so this is one of them. And so this is a picture here at halfway through the project at 1600 North, looking north, and so got all the shoulders in, and that's another project or another picture. And this is we kind of did this last week. You can see here, these are the rumble strips going up to transverse rumble strips going up to 165. And then here's kind of another picture of the curb there on the north end of the project. So, yeah, we had some issues with the cold in place recycling and that type of stuff when we were doing it, but overall, it did turn out really well once we got everything taken care of.
Anyone have any questions? Member Reeves?
Oh, that thing is first class, especially when you come up there across that new bridge. It looks beautiful, smooth, so hats off to you guys.
Thanks. So next project is the McLean Road in the village of McLean. I showed pictures of that last month as well. This is just the final price on that project. So another one that we were about 20,000 under on. But yeah, just a good project through the village there, and so that was pretty straightforward. Didn't have any issues on that one. And then the next project is Hudson East. So that's they have the hot mix surface on that as well. They're working on some of the sidewalk there in Hudson, and then also we have to complete the ag shoulders outside of town. So I'm saying in a couple weeks that project ought to be all wrapped up as well. Any questions on that project?
Well, to echo what Vice Chair Reeves said on the previous project, I work with two guys who live on this road who said it's phenomenal. It's a great increase, so good job to everybody involved in that.
And then I do have just a couple pictures of, so this is not a county project, but this is a township culvert project that we're doing up in Yates Township, just a little bit southeast of Chenoa. And so this is a 20-foot concrete box culvert, single span, and it's like 7 foot tall. So we've never had done one of these before, so we're trying this out. I mean, the walls on this thing are like 18 inches thick. And so I'll try to get some better pictures for next month. This is kind of where they're forming up the top, getting ready to pour the top slab, and so that got poured. And so they're working on backfilling and getting that opened up. I think they're here in the middle of August, it's supposed to be completed. So it's kind of another picture here. You can kind of just see the single area that they got going. So, so anyway, any questions on any of these projects?
Is this precast and you're pouring a deck over top of it, or is it poured in place?
It was all poured in place. So they did the floor and then did the walls and then the top. So you had basically 3 separate pours.
And you say we've never done this before?
We've never done a single, like a one that's one this wide, a 20-foot wide single span concrete cast in place. We've done other ones that have been doubles or triples, but never one this wide. And we just had the room to do it, the channels real defined, and we had the clearances to do it. So it all kind of worked out well. So, you know, this will eliminate hopefully debris building up, and some of those other ones that we had, like that are doubles and triples, debris can build up on those. We don't really have a lot of tree area around here, so we thought this would be a good way to do it.
Anyone have any other questions for Mr. Stokes? Nope. All right. Administrator Taylor, do you have anything for us today?
Thank you, Chair Rogal. I have nothing for this committee this morning.
All right. Does anybody else have anything? No. Our next meeting will be September 3rd at 8 a.m. If nobody has anything else, we are adjourned. Have a good day.